to day 20 of 30 Days of IBS Foods. We are really getting through it now. Today's all about pineapple. I want to talk about it today because a lot of people don't realise that it is a good low FODMAP fruit that can be very good if you have a sensitive digestion. So let's get into why it is so good for you. 140 grams of pineapple is a low FODMAP portion, which is around a cup of fruit if you use the American cups. If you go over that much, getting to around 2 cups, then it's high for fructan. So you can have quite a lot of this pineapple. And the reason I like it is because often it's very sweet. It's full of really good nutrients, vitamin C, lots of antioxidants. And people don't realise that even though it's sweet and quite exotic flavour, that it's actually not rapidly fermentable. So if you think about what FODMAPs are, going back to why we reduce them to manage IBS in the short term, is to take out that rapidly fermentable fibres. That's not as high in pineapple. In the run-up to making this episode, I found a study where in the Philippines they gave some children canned pineapple, and some children ate no pineapple. They were the control group. Some children had 140 grams a day. Some children had 280 grams a day, and they did this for a number of weeks. And over that time, the ones who were eating the pineapple, either 1 or 2 cans of pineapple per day, had increased their hemoglobin levels. That's one of our iron stores. It's an iron containing protein in the body. They increased a lot of their good immune markers, and that might be down to the high levels of vitamin C. Now, vitamin C helps us absorb iron from the diet, but I just thought it was a really interesting study, just showing that that was the only thing that changed for these people, that they ate some pineapple and some of their iron levels went up, and also their immune defenses were better. They had less infections, was the other thing actually that was really interesting. So the ones who were eating pineapples had hardly any coughs and colds. Anyway, that's just another little reminder of why we need vitamin C. It helps your immune system, and pineapple is really high in vitamin C. So it's a great addition to your diet if you can handle it. Now, you're also getting fibre. So for that 1 cup of pineapple, which is around 140 grams, you get 2.5 grams of fibre, which is a good level of fibre for a portion of fruit. So it's making your way towards that 25 to 30 grams of fibre per day. Another benefit of eating pineapple is that it naturally contains a digestive enzyme called bromelain. Bromelain is the active ingredient in pineapple that you may use as a meat tenderizer. So, sometimes if you take raw meat and put it with citrus fruits or put it with pineapple, it will start to break it down. And that is what it's doing inside your digestive system. So it helps to make proteins more digestible, which is a great benefit for people who have sensitive digestion, especially if you feel like food tends to sit quite heavy in your stomach for a long time. You need some activation to try and get that protein processed. Bromelain, it works in your stomach, which is acid, and it works in the small intestine, which is more alkaline, to do the same job. So it's breaking down proteins into smaller amino acids and peptides so that it can be used throughout the body. So that's the second reason why pineapple is such a great addition to your diet. We've got vitamin C. Of course, there are lots of other antioxidants in the food matrix that are wrapped up in there, but also critically this natural digestive enzyme. So that's how it can affect your digestion. And then let's think about how you can eat it if you have IBS. So fresh is best. It will have the highest levels of vitamin C and the greatest levels of the antioxidants. When we're talking about tinned pineapple, because they have to heat it up in order to create the clean, sanitized environment for it to stay in the tin, that will reduce some of the vitamin C and some of the antioxidants. But fresh or frozen will have more nutrients, such as vitamin C. The portion sizing is a little bit smaller if you have canned pineapple. So you can probably have around 100 grams if it's in juice. If it's in syrup, the portion is even smaller, around 60 to 70 grams. So the best way to have the most pineapple is to have it raw, fresh, or frozen. So That's only if you are sensitive to the FODMAP fructan as well, because that is the FODMAP, that group that we're going into. So that is the same FODMAP group as wheat, onions and garlic. So if those are your triggers, if you were to eat half a pineapple in one sitting, you might get into that level of fructan that's going to cause your types of symptoms. But this is a surprising food for some people, which is why I wanted to bring it in to my 30 days of foods. It is something that I encourage my clients to eat quite regularly. The other food that's in the similar category is papaya, which has got the consistency of melon, but has got a different flavour profile. And the same thing as pineapple with the bromelain, papaya has a digestive enzyme called papain, and it does similar thing to the proteins. So papaya, lovely exotic fruits that you can sometimes get in frozen mixed bag in the supermarkets, like smoothie ready mixes, but definitely worth a look at if you don't like pineapple. If you haven't already, I would really appreciate it if you would review or rate my podcast. It helps me so much. Even just rating it with how many stars you think, or leaving a little comment, can really help me to reach a wider audience, and I would really appreciate it if you have 2 minutes to do that now at the end of this episode. See you tomorrow.